Hello, Anchor family. Sunday was amazing. We had 5 new families visiting church with us. We were back up around 160 in attendance after about 6 months of running closer to like 135 people. And then at the end of the service, we got to see the fruit of the fall session of Rooted through the baptism of Juliana Grandinetti. It was an amazing day. It was encouraging for everybody. After church, we hosted a lunch to discuss next generation ministries. A meeting, honestly, I think some probably expected to look a lot different than it turned out. The truth is, Sunday after church in the meeting, the Holy Spirit really showed up and showed out. He led our meeting and guided us to take a course through the month of February that I think many of us weren't expecting. A good path forward. For those who weren't there, I want to catch you up. Sunday we shared that over the last 5 or 6 months, your elder team has been talking, praying, and developing a plan to re-envision next generation ministries, like ministry to kids from birth to high school. Over the last 30 days, we met with youth ministry volunteers, and then we met with children's ministry volunteers. We even conducted a survey of the church that relates to the work of next generation ministries. And the truth is, our original plan for Sunday's meeting was to present the vision and the plans we developed and to begin to talk about implementing it. But in the volunteer meetings and through the survey, we learned a few things about ourselves and about our church. And after some prayer and some discussion, a little bit of wrestling, the elders felt led to take Sunday's meeting, led by the Holy Spirit, to take Sunday's meeting in a very different direction. And looking back, I think the Holy Spirit moved in a way that confirmed that leading. Just some things we have learned. We've learned that the families of Anchor Church feel a deep sense of responsibility for the discipleship of their kids. That's amazing. We learned that most families feel pretty equipped and are actually doing the work of discipleship at home. And we were reminded that Anchor Church holds deep convictions about the importance of biblical faithfulness. I can't tell you how privileged I feel to be a part of a church that's wired up like this, that has developed these muscles of discipling their children and valuing the Word. But there's a few other things that we learned that kind of give us an opportunity to take a look in the mirror. We learned that perspectives on next generation ministry in the church vary widely, which honestly complicates the unfolding of a vision. And the biggest thing that we learned, one we've suspected is true but hoped maybe it wasn't, was confirmed over the last 30 days. We recognize together that Anchor Church, frankly, is a pretty inwardly focused and inwardly oriented congregation. We know this is true for a couple of reasons. We know it's true because there are people in our congregation advocating for a renewed focus on evangelism and reaching the lost in our community. You don't typically advocate for something passionately or seek something strongly that you already possess. We also know that it's true because we've seen and heard hesitancy and apprehension about missional engagement. And, some of this was expressed in response to the vision that we laid out concerning next generation ministries and in the survey results. So instead of presenting the vision that we prepared, we talked through all of this and on Sunday with the church and called the church to pray, to learn, and to collaborate together to develop a strategy to reach families in our community, to bring them into the congregation, and to teach them the way of Jesus. So we're kicking off this shift in focus from implementation to slowing down with 30 days of prayer and fasting beginning today. So in this email, you're going to find a document on fasting and some guidance for the next 28 days. I want to encourage you to prayerfully read through everything and to join us as we seek the Lord together. We're trusting that the Lord will convict us, that He'll lead us, and He'll help us to embrace the vision that He has for us as a church and for our next generation ministries. I want to encourage you also to be present on Sunday mornings over the next few weeks. We'll be taking a step back from the Gospel of Matthew and exploring some things that relate to this journey of prayer and fasting over the next month. And then lastly, every Wednesday night at 6:30 and every Sunday morning at 9, we have an opportunity led by Jeff Nash to gather and pray for the church. This is an excellent time for us to take the prayer emphasis for the week that you'll see in the email and to go to the Lord together in sort of more of a corporate prayer sort of way and seek His face and examine our hearts and our lives and call upon Him to lead and guide us into the future as a church. So I want to encourage you, let's go all in over the month of February, seeking the Lord together in fasting and prayer and in the Word. And let's see what the Lord might do in us and through us in the days to come.